Hi everyone, Kieran Brown here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the secret to increasing strength fast. And this is a huge one, particularly for beginners and even intermediates in the gym. Like when I first started training, it was just all over the place. I wasn't following a program. I didn't really know what exercises to do, how many sets, how many reps, when to increase the weight, all those kinds of things. Just had so many questions. This is a picture of the first gym that I signed up to, and I remember going in there. And first time I did the dumbbell bench press, I was using like 12.5 kilo dumbbells, and yeah, that seems like a long time ago now. I've tripled my strength since then in that particular exercise, and probably a lot of the others as well. And it wasn't really until I found out about this method where I was able to go from um, just purely like guessing, having no real direction in the gym, not seeing any gains, not really getting stronger, just being like quite inconsistent, not tracking anything. And then I found out about this framework, and from there, like my strength has just gone up a lot. And yeah, it's just so much more motivating, knowing what to do when you go into the gym. That's a huge reason why a lot of people can't even get started, or they start and they just can't commit to it. But I think with this one tip, if this is something you're struggling with, then it will really help you. So I first heard about this from Kino Body, Gregor Gallagher, the guy on the left. So when everything's sort of transformed for me, and I first got consistent in the gym, started making gains, it was through buying one of his programs, the Warrior Shredding program. And this is where I first found out about this method of like increasing your strength. And then the guy on the right there is Mike Matthews, author of Bigger, Leaner, Stronger. It's a really popular sort of like bodybuilding book. And he spoke about something similar. He called it the same thing, but had a slight tweak on it, which I found interesting. I haven't actually tried like his method, but I'll talk about both the methods, and yeah, the pros and cons of each. So I'm sure you've been drilled to death with this term progressive overload, and basically, if you don't know what this means, is that the only way to get stronger is to basically increase the load, like the weight or the sets or the reps, like every week or every session. And yeah, I feel like everyone knows about this, but I'm going to talk about in the video is it's going to be like the how to actually do it, because everyone knows you have to increase the weight to get stronger. And the image there is of it's the classic story of progressive overload, which is a guy called Milo, who's back in the Greek times, like 2,000 odd years ago. He was like a professional wrestler, I believe, like six-time Olympic champion. And there was a story of how he increased his strength, and he basically had a bull, or like a cow, on his shoulder, and as the cow like grew, um, Milo would get stronger and stronger because the weight of the cow would increase, and he'll be able to lift stronger and stronger. So, how do we actually achieve this progressive overload? What does it look like when we're on the gym floor and we've sat down and we're ready for our set? How many reps do we do? Um, and how do we know when to increase the weight? Well, the answer is double progression. And yeah, this has been a real game changer for me. So, what is double progression? It's basically when you choose a rep range for a particular exercise, and once you hit the top end of that range, you increase the load and then you decrease the reps of the next workout. So it's called double progression because first you increase or progress on the reps, and then once you hit a certain rep target, then you increase the weight. So you're increasing both. And here's an example here, or a couple examples. So on the left here, you have the incline barbell bench press. So for this example, the rep range is 4 to 5 reps. So that means if you do a particular weight and you hit 5 reps, then on the next workout, you increase the weight. And then if you hit 4 reps, you keep the weight the same. And then on the next one, if you were to get 5 reps, then you'd increase the weight again. So that's basically what this is showing. You can see for the incline press, workout 1, 200 pounds for 5 reps. So that's the top of the range. So on the next workout, we can up the weight. And that's what happens. It's moved up 5 pounds. This time, you only get 4 reps. So we'll keep the weight the same next session. And you can see on workout 3, this time it gets the 5 reps. So on workout 4, you can up the weight. And you just keep repeating this. And same there on the right for the dumbbell curls. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, that's set 1, and that's all well and good. But what about set 2 and 3 or more? So often, if you hit the upper limit for set 1, you increase the weight on all other sets next time, even if you didn't hit the rep range on set 2 or 3. And if you miss the bottom rep range on any set by more than 1, I would suggest dropping the weights the next time. So there's an example here from one of my recent sessions. You can see on set 1, we're aiming for a rep range of 6 to 8, and we get 8, which is great. On the second set, we're aiming for 8 to 10, and we get 10. And you can also see here we're dropping the weight each time, and that's called reverse pyramid training, but that's another thing. And then you can see here on set 3, our rep range is 8 to 10 again, but I only hit 7. So what does this mean for the next session when I come and do it? So because it's like 1 or less, I've missed the rep range only by 1. I'm going to keep the weight the same because hopefully the next session I'll be able to hit the bottom of the range at least, which is 8. So let's say I got on set 3 35 kilos for 5 reps. Then on the next session I would drop the weight and hopefully get at least 8 reps on that weight. So here's an example of like consecutive sessions. Again, this is for the overhead press. So you can see on the top one, we have a rep range again of 6 to 8 for the first set, and then 8 to 12 for the second and third set. And you can see here that the top of the range was hit on all 3 sets. So we hit 8 on the first set and 10 on the second and third set. So that means we can increase the weight the next session, sorry. And that's what we did. I increased the weight by 2.5 kilos for the first set. And then, I managed to hit 8 again. And the second set increased more as well. So that's basically how it works. And general rule of thumb is for like compound exercises, like your overhead press, like your squats, your bench press, that kind of thing. If you hit the top of the rep range on the first set, the next session, you increase the weight on all 3 sets, not just the first set. I hope that makes sense. And then on more like accessory exercises, I'd probably especially the higher rep ones, probably just only increase the weight on a particular set if you've hit the top range the previous session. So I was just mentioning at the start, I came across an alternative method of double progression from Mike Matthews. So this example here, the table using the bench press with a 4 to 6 rep range. And his method is, once you hit the target rep range for a set, you up the weight in the next set. You don't wait until your next session. You just up the weight straight away for your second set or your third set. And basically, if you can't hit the bottom rep range, then you decrease the weight by 5 pounds. So let's go through this example. So you can see in session 1, the bench press is 135 pounds for 4 reps, and does that for set 1 and 2. And then on set 3, gets an extra rep for 5 reps. And then on session 2, he does 135 pounds for 6 reps, and that's the target rep range. So instead of just increasing the weight on the next session, he increases it on set 2. So it adds an extra 10 pounds, and then tries to, and then this time goes for 4 reps. So it's in the rep range, but it's not enough to increase the weight. And then you can see on 145 pounds, slowly goes up, 4 reps, 4 reps, 5 reps, 5 reps. And then set 1 of session 4 finally hits the target rep range again, 6 reps. So that means that on set 2, you add 10 pounds of weight to your bar, and you just keep repeating that. And the key is just to have a rep range, and then once you hit the top one, that's when you increase the weight. That's the essence of double progression. With this one, I find I haven't actually tried it, to be fair, but my initial thoughts are, for example, if we look at session 1, this is an example like from the book. If you look at session 1, he's done there 135 for 4 reps, 135 for 4 reps on set 1 and 2. And then on set 3, has actually increased the reps. Now, that kind of tells me that the intensity wasn't really there on set 1 and 2. Because you would expect the first set to be the strongest. So yeah, I find that a bit strange, because personally I like to do the first set as the heaviest, because that's when you're most fresh. You're not as fatigued as much. So yeah, I think I prefer the way that Kino Body does it, where he integrates the reverse pyramid training, which basically means you start heaviest on set 1, and then you drop the weight a bit on set 2, and then drop it again on set 3. So I hope that all makes sense. We'll sum up here. So the only way to increase your strength is with progressive overload. You've all heard that 1,000 times before, but how do you actually progressively overload and gain strength? Well, the best way is by using the double progression model. So what you do is, at the gym, you set a rep range for the exercise, i.e. 4 to 5 reps. And then once you hit the top of that range, in the first set, then you increase the weight the next session. This is like the Kino Body version, and it's what I do. So, if you hit your 75 kilo bench press for 5 reps in the first set, when you come in the next time to do your bench press, you'll add like 2.5 kilos, say, so you'll be benching 77.5. and you basically just keep doing that weight until you hit the top of the range, and then you increase the weight again. I found this is like the quickest way to increase strength, and particularly if you're training like every other day, or you're having, you're recovered enough for your next session, then it's quite possible that on the majority of sessions you'll be increasing your strength, providing that the nutrition and everything is in order. So this has really helped me, and I think if you're struggling to make strength gains in the gym, then this is a great model, and it's just such an easy like plug and play, easy to follow, and you can really start making some good strength gains. So if you want a bit of help, one-on-one from me, there's a top link in the description. You'll be able to book a call and speak to me, and yeah, we can like just go through this kind of thing. And if you're open to some one-on-one coaching from me, and the focus being on fat loss and increasing strength in the gym, then it would be great to speak to you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.